is happening, guys? I hope you're all doing good. So today I am here to continue my League series. It's been a little while. Today I am here to go through the lore of the brand new champion that has dropped in League of Legends known as BRIAR. Now, BRIAR is a really interesting designed character. There's a few intriguing things I've already kind of noticed about this character, but the thing that made me the most interested in delving into this is I've been hankering to rewatch ARCANE. Oh my god. I just get these urges, having a poster there doesn't help, but I just get these urges sometimes, and I have the urge to rewatch the whole thing at the moment. And then that really made me want to read more into the lore, and then I kept seeing this character pop up all over Twitter, and I was like, do you know what? I've just been saying I'm going to do this for a while, so let's just delve back into the lore. And also, this character, from what I've seen of when I saw things on Twitter about this character, is from Noxus, and I stopped there and I've sat down and now we're going to film this video because I was like, okay, enough said. Noxus is so freaking cool. Noxus has some of the most intriguing lore in this universe. How is this character from Noxus and how is this all going to link in? So we're sat down, we're braced, we're going to delve straight into this lore. Let's do it. Okay, so the character BRIAR, the unrestrained hunger. I firstly actually love this character's design. I think it actually looks really, really cool. The way they've got restraints on sort of reminds me a bit of Silas with his chains on that sort of restrain his power back. So that's what I'm kind of thinking that might be going on with this character, because I have seen this character also as two versions, and I've seen some talk on my Discord about this, of the sort of restrained version, which is this version, and then the kind of unrestrained version, which appears to be a character without the shackles on. So that's kind of why it gave me the reminiscence of that. How this character links into Noxus, I've got no idea, but they do have a story, so let's find out what that is. So, near the end of his reign, Grand General Borum Darkwill, he was the one that was in charge of Noxus before Swain and his sort of group, so he got up to some shady things. Entrusted the Black Rose and its many hemomancers with creating a new kind of living weapon. Oh, the Black Rose is linking into this. Okay, well, we know shit's gonna go down. Because same again, the Black Rose. So say F. Oh, the Black Rose is shady AF as well, because it's led by LeBlanc, who I actually haven't delved into yet, but LeBlanc seems to tie into a lot of these other characters. So I'm wondering if LeBlanc's gonna tie into this as well. Probably, maybe, I'm guessing, I don't know. Unlike their previous experiments on the deceased, this would be a being born from and fueled by blood, one driven to hunt down targets without requiring the sustenance of food and water. So kind of like a vampire, right? Because previously I've been told that there's another champion, Vladimir, who he uses hemomancy, right? I mean, I haven't read a great deal into Vladimir and into hemomancy in general. I don't really know how that lore works in this universe, but I do know that Vladimir's the other character, and he is also from Noxus. He's another character that links into Noxus. So I'm presuming A, this is something specific to Noxus, and B, this must be a kind of vampiric sort of thing as well. So BRIAR was born. Her creators wanted an assassin, but all she wanted to do was eat, eat, eat. When her first mission ended in a frenzied, gory failure, the Black Rose decided that BRIAR was too dangerous to use, but too powerful to be destroyed. In order to control her, they devised a special pillory, locked in by Hematite gemstone, to restrain her and focus her mind. Once shackled with the pillory, BRIAR, along with the rest of the Black Rose's living weapons, were quickly deployed during Jericho Swain's coup against Darkwill. Oh, I see. So when she's shackled, she's still quite powerful, but when she is unshackled, she just basically is driven by this need to eat. She was given a handler to help direct her, but when released from her pillory, BRIAR immediately devoured him and everyone near her, everyone but her target Swain, who escaped while the living weapon fed upon friend and foe. Interesting. Oh, who escaped? I was did she spare Swain? But no, it seems like Swain just escaped. I mean, Swain's got his means, doesn't he? After an arduous capture, Swain's guards managed to trigger BRIAR's pillory and restore her restraint, enabling them to transfer her to their holding facility. Alone in her cell, BRIAR could focus on nothing except her hunger. Though she couldn't die from starvation, the absence of fresh blood weakened her day by day. At first, she thought a chorus of crazed wails echoing around her room were her own starving thoughts, until she realised the sounds were drifting in from unseen neighbours. Did Swain's forces manage to capture other living weapons during the coup? Was she locked up with them now, each having failed their mission, their purpose? The voices cried out for blood, a sentiment BRIAR could relate to. But what she could not stand wasn't how often they did it, nor how loud they were, but that it was all they talked about. Their unrelenting hemomania was the most boring thing she'd ever experienced. As hungry as BRIAR was, and she was hungry, her thoughts stayed focused on the pitiful sounds of the others. What if she managed to break out of the pillory? Would her frenzy make her even more unhinged than her neighbours? Would she become as single-minded and boring as them? The idea was too horrifying to dwell on, and so she instead resigned herself to listless solitude. She sounds, in a way, she's definitely not very empathetic. You know, she like, it's interesting that, like, she knows how they feel because they are going through that same kind of pain and hunger that she is, but just because she has, like, a little bit more kind of sense, she finds it boring, which kind of shows that she doesn't really have any empathy towards other people that are going through the same thing as her and are almost potentially looking down on them a bit for wailing and complaining and screaming about it, instead of, like, her, who is just, like, in this, like, solitude, who has just kind of, like, regressed into herself a little bit and decided to be alone. Years passed, and the time alone allowed BRIAR to reflect on herself and consider the possibilities of the world outside her cell. Entertainment consisted of eavesdropping on the guards' conversations, devising new ways to pester them for raw meat, and agonising whether she should raise her pet spiders or eat them. By chance, while she was toying with her pillory one day, she inadvertently loosened the hemolith, which settled into a position just short of unlocking the restraint. BRIAR froze as her thoughts of hemomaniacal neighbours filled her head. Is that what she'd become? But then she realised something. Being under control was just as dangerous as being out of control. She wanted to strike the balance. Having discovered the hemolith's mechanism, BRIAR devised a plan. By this point, the guards were so used to her calls for attention that when she lured one close to her cell, nobody noticed he was missing until it was too late. The guard's blood surged within her, lighting a fire that had been waiting to spread. BRIAR was finally free. Now the living weapon gleefully roams the streets of Noxus, pillory locked back in place, until she wants to unlock it. As she acclimates to the world outside, with the Black Rose monitoring the unexpected development, BRIAR eagerly learns all she can, making new friends and discoveries in a world she is starving to experience. Oh, wow, okay. Ooh, interesting story. I'm also intrigued as to why the Black Rose have, like, chosen to let her roam around instead of kind of, like, pulling her back in. The Black Rose are such an interesting group because they really, I think, monitor a lot of these situations to see how things work out, almost like they're, like, experimenting, you know, and are trying to see how they can, like, manipulate the situation into something that could benefit them, or, you know, if she kills someone that they want rid of, or, you know, can they put people in her path that they sort of want dead, and then she can kind of do it, and they can still kind of use and manipulate BRIAR in that way. The character herself, obviously, she didn't have a background apart from just being created from hemomancy. That's kind of what it sounds like. It sounds like, you know, she wasn't someone that was turned into what she is. She was kind of born this way. So, like some of the demons that we've seen in this lore, that she has this kind of, like, single-minded focus of when she's in that form of, like, blood and hunger, and that's what kind of drives her. But then she also has the kind of ability using this pillory to see all that away, and I guess be, I don't want to say human, but, you know, like, be able to think and live outside of that pure kind of driven instinct that she has. So I think that's why it's called, like, the restrained hunger, because she can choose when to control it and not control it now because she has this pillory. But yeah, it's not the only thing that's, like, driving her forward. It's not, like, pure instinctual, like, for example, with, like, Fiddlesticks, where, like, he lives on fear, like, he needs the fear of his victims, so, like, he is driven by that. He's not driven by any other motivation other than, like, making people fear him so he can feed on that, you know? Whereas with BRIAR, she not only has like a hunger for like food, but she also has a hunger to learn about the world around her. And I think that kind of shows the difference, that she's not just like a demon or like a vampire they've created, but a kind of entity in itself that wants to learn. And I think that does show the intelligence. However, there is a lack of empathy there. I would absolutely say that emotionally she's very immature because she hasn't had the chance to learn anything. So like this character going forward would be really intriguing to see like how they grew and developed, and if there's someone that's like kind to her and how she would feel about that person. And you know, because she didn't seem to have any empathy for any of the other people like her that were kind of suffering. So yeah, oh wow, that was a good story though. That was interesting. I like the way it linked in with Swain as well. I wonder how Swain feels about it all. I'm going to be intrigued to hear the voice lines, I have to admit. So I'm just having a quick look through the wiki just to see if there was anything kind of extra that's been put in here about the other kind of characters. So obviously we know about her relation to the Black Rose because they were the hemomancers that created her in the first place, and they continue to just monitor her as well. So Vladimir, this is the one I was interested about. So BRIAR was created with hemomancy, a magical art strongly tied to Vladimir, a founding member of the Black Rose. Though his exact relationship with BRIAR is unclear, it's heavily implied he was mainly responsible for her creation. As her creator, BRIAR somewhat considers Vladimir her dad, though she questions whether or not to actually call him that. Oh, so actually the ties are a lot, well, that makes sense then, yeah. There you go. The ties are a lot closer. I was like, this character, like, the only other character that I've known about that deals with hemomancy is Vladimir, so obviously having this character tied in with Vladimir would make sense. Oh, I need to look at Vladimir lore at some point, seriously, because I really do. Oh, here you go. Oh, I didn't know Xeon was another one. It's another hemomancy experiment conducted by the Black Rose as they attempted to revive him. Oh, of course they did. Oh, they did, yeah. As one of the many experiments, Xeon was also imprisoned in the same facility as BRIAR, being held in a cell neighbouring to hers. Xeon was one of the many experiments that annoyed BRIAR during her imprisonment, seeing him as boring and simple. Their exact relationship isn't exactly known, but BRIAR seems disappointed and annoyed to see that he's escaped the facility as well. So obviously we've got a video to watch as well. So BRIAR's pillory is similar to Riven's blade, as both are runic objects created by the Black Rose with the special ability that resembles at will. Oh, so she can reassemble it. Oh, so she's 5'3". Oh my god, I'm as tall as BRIAR. BRIAR is around late college age. However, because she was created towards the end of Borum Darkwall's reign as Grand General, she was most likely created at least a decade ago. And apparently Talon is one of the few people she considers a friend. Oh, that's nice. Okay, all right. Well, there's a video, so we're definitely gonna have to check this video out because I'm excited to watch it. There's actually multiple teasers for this character that came out first, apparently, so I'm gonna watch those first. I thought that was the best way to start. Ooh, the cells are creepy. Ooh, the whistling, I don't like that. Okay, that's kind of terrifying. I don't like that at all. The sound design is amazing, though. Hello? Ooh, we're really close.
Hey there! Hey, listen. Are you hungry?
Character's voice is very fitting, though.
Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Ooh.
Hey there! I'm so hungry.
Ooh.
Oh, I miss eating. Got any snacks?
It's a really clever way of doing a teaser.
You're still there!
me. They've definitely given this character a fun personality. I actually wasn't expecting that from the story. But I like the fact they're a bit, like, funny and a bit strange. Definitely getting Jinx vibes. Ooh. The animation is actually amazing. Done such a good job. I mean, I should expect no less because Arcane is incredible, but still.
Aren't cells boring?
Must be so hard having that, like, giant pillar on your back as well. But I think it just shows how strong the character is. But even, like,
What you doing?
though she's been, like, starved for so long. It's so creepy. It's so creepy, though. Oh, just the smile. Oh, man. I can't stop watching. You just want to see, like, what she's gonna do next.
Nice sword.
Oh. This is kind of this more serious side that I was sort of expecting to see. But I guess it depends on how much control maybe she has. Like, maybe when she's fully in control,
Can we talk?
she's a little bit more, like, sassy and a bit more questioning and everything. And then when she gets a bit more, like, serious, that's when the control's kind of shifting over. Which would make sense, obviously, if she can control it, especially if she's getting really hungry.
Wanna come closer?
Not really, no. Whoa.
Oh, I miss eating. We're friends, right? So, there's this thing I've seen humans do. Handshakes. Okay, but why shake hands? Will you shake my hand so I can figure this out?
That does not seem like a good idea. Oh dear. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Just got my face bitten off. Great start to the day. That got me. But then that was intriguing because it was interesting to see how this character's kind of personality sort of shifted over time, that like you could kind of tell that she was getting like more and more sort of like restless, but you could also see that that kind of unhinged hunger was like coming through, and it kind of shows that like, especially in this sort of universe, that like no matter how friendly a character is, you can't always trust them, you know? Like, for example, Jinx, she comes across like very unrestrained, very like in a way quite charismatic as well, but then like will just turn like that, and you can't trust characters like that at all. And this is what this character is like 100%. Next up, we've got the BRIAR cinematic trailer, Feeding Frenzy. So I'm really excited about this one. I'm really excited. So let's give this one a watch.
Soldier! She's got blood!
Ooh, oh my god, that is sick.
Hi! Ooh, you're escaping too? Glad you know the way out.
Fred! Or
Holy shit. Oh my god, the music is amazing. Wow.
And wasn't that fun? Huh.
Wow. Oh my god. Holy crap. That was amazing. Oh my god, that was amazing. Oh, I loved the switch between the two styles. Like, when it switched between this, like, this sort of style. Like, this is, same again, very Arcane-esque, of course, which is amazing. Love to see it. It's so awesome to see it in a cinematic. To then switching to, like, this, like animated, like, comic over the top kind of style for this action. I loved that. Oh man, I feel like it really captured what we sort of know about the character well. I feel like the story, in a way, I think tried to kind of put this across, that this character definitely has a bit of like a funny personality, definitely is a little bit like, in a weird way, kind of like charming in their naivety, but also is very naive, but like a bit funny about it and stuff. Whereas like I feel like in the story it just put them across with like a lack of empathy, and not necessarily in a way that was like, no, they just don't know enough about the world. And so like when they're asking like, why do you do that, they're not asking it in a nasty way, they're asking like, why are you doing that, because they don't understand. Whereas I feel like now that I've seen a bit more of the character and how the voice comes across and how they talk and how they're animated and stuff, you can definitely tell that like it's not necessarily coming from like a nasty place, it's just coming from a genuine naivety of they don't understand. I love the fact that they do have control over this. Like, they definitely have a level of control. The fact that like they had like gone through all those guards and stuff and then stopped when they thought it was someone that was their friend. So I think that it does show that this character actually does understand these kind of concepts and is learning as well, and is learning what a friend is. And those guards, I loved the way that they like cut between the different, like, obviously like ways that she was kind of tearing the characters apart, and interchanged it for like different bits of food. I thought that was a really clever way of doing it as well, because obviously, you know, when it comes to things like this, it's going to be extremely gory. And don't get me wrong, League has some aspects of that in this game, but they do to some extent shy away from some level of gore, and obviously with this it's going to be extraordinarily gory, so I can absolutely understand why they did that. But they did it in such a fun way that it was like very fitting of the character, because, you know, she's not going to see it as this horrifying thing that the guard's seeing. She's just seeing food. Like, it's not like that for her, you know, so it's very different. And I liked the way that it sort of showed that for us, that like, oh, like, you know, that like, yes, fair enough, this person being mutilated in this way to her is food, but to us would be like eating a raspberry. It's the same thing. You know, it's just so like horrifying, but also like a clever way of doing it that was really enjoyable to watch. And the music was great. Oh man, it makes me so sad that like the year cinematic that we had wasn't of a higher caliber, the one that they were supposed to do like at the beginning of like the new season. But if the other cinematics, I know there's been a few released recently, are like of this level, I'm okay with that. I can live. Okay, so we're gonna listen to the voice lines now for BRIAR. I'm actually really excited to hear about this. I'm excited, I think, to see about the relationship with like BRIAR with like different people from Noxus, obviously the most, and there's also a couple of other champions. I'm intrigued to see like if she's got specific voice lines, if she interacts with them, and yeah, I'm just intrigued in general to see how this character reacts to other people in this universe. Also, the VA, I had a quick look, her name is Julie Nathanson. The voice sounded so familiar. She did a great job. I love the voice. Sounded really, really familiar. Turns out she's been on a lot of the Final Fantasy series doing voice acting in that, so I was like, oh, it's probably from that, because I'm a big fan of the Final Fantasy games. So yeah, I was just like, good job. Great job. Okay, let's listen to these voice lines.
So, you want me to call you Vlad or Dad?
Well, there you go. This is where it comes from. Makes sense.
Oh, Cyan! You escaped too? And you're here with me. We fight so differently, Cyan. You're like, "Ugh," and I'm like, "Nom, nom, 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 nom." You know, Talon.
Oh my god, the humour is spot on. I love it. They've put so much personality into this character. It's phenomenal. Oh, that's brilliant. That is actually brilliant. I love that so much. They would be so perfect in Arcane. Not obviously in the current season, but if they do a season in Noxus, I hope they do, and I hope they include this character, because I can already see how funny their interactions would be in the universe. Oh, it'd be so perfect. It'd be so good.
Is this a brand new super secret murder mission? Hey, Talon, what's the point of sneaking up on your target if they're gonna die either way? I don't like you, Cyan! No blood for you, Cyan! Oh, Talon, show me your blades! Not sharp enough, Talon! You smile in fear, Vlad! Let's compare fangs, Vlad! A family-sized meal? For me? I'll fight you and your kids! You're so cute,
This is actually so perfect. I just love the idea of Briar just being there, being like, "I'll fight you and your kids." That is phenomenal. Oh my god. They've really done an amazing job. You can really tell the difference between the two tones as well, with like the like seriousness and like even like more like unrestrained demonic side, and then the kind of in control side. There's such a difference. It's amazing. They've really picked the right VA. 100% on board with this.
have to eat you! Scuttle right into my mouth! You protect, I attack! Yes! New toothpicks! Last time I licked a gromp, I sneezed for days. Wow, your mouth is huge! Can I squeeze blood from a stone? Hold still! Gonna sharpen my teeth. Just one pat. Ow! 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 I love a good pair of wings. I've always wanted a dragon skin belt. Harold, huh? That a title or a name? Gotta work on that posture, Harold. Take it from me. Wait, you're a baron? Hey, Nasher, you full of blood or sludge? Or both? Oh no, Cyan's dead? I am so sad. I'm lying. Boring Cyan tastes like leather.
She really,
Traitorous Talon, you chose this.
really doesn't like Cyan.
Talon, I'll save your blood so they can do the humomancy thing. You've become lazy, Vlad! Ugh, that's what you use blood for? How the blood is mine! You're nervous. Is it the pillory? I can take it off. Pray, we can... Oh, sorry. Old habit. Hi. See these wax seals on my belt? Yeah, I earned all of them. Hi! Is this the part where we break legs? We don't have to fight. You could just share your blood. Stuck in my teeth. Satisfying. I win! Hands off my meal! A new taste! Mine!
Wow.
Mine! Could've used some more self-control. Like me! Killing's different now. Like food I can't swallow. Blood! Blood. I'm nippy when I'm hungry. Ah, dang it. Forgot to ask if I could have their blood. I'm not just a living weapon. I can do this, and this, and this, too. Oh, I was supposed to laugh at that. This scared ya.
I love it.
Never noticed how tongues just kind of flop around behind your teeth. Finally. I
just love the honesty. It's so
Don't care
good.
where I'm going, as long as I'm moving. Whose blood are we gonna spill today? I mean, drink. No, share? What else do you do with blood? Remember, you can choose. Don't need to cut loose right away. You can choose. Let's see. Today I'm going to climb a tree, learn the Noxian anthem, kill my enemies, and make a baby laugh. Okay, so I can go that way, that way, or that way. Ugh, so many choices. How do y'all get anything done? I'm not a picky eater. Whether it's a splash of blood, a bloody limb, cold blood, warm blood, I'll try it all.
Honestly, the voice acting really makes this character and really makes them, like, is it weird to say wholesome? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Because they're talking a lot about blood, and that's not usually a word I would ever describe a character that is doing that as. But yeah, weirdly makes them kind of wholesome, and like that like naivety to their actions, and because as well they don't understand, I guess, what's wrong in what they're doing. So it's like, man, it's really difficult because like the morality here, like, because they don't understand what that is. They don't know that other people are going to find that like scary and find that wrong, and you know, so they're not going to understand. So it's like, how can you blame them for that, because that they were just kind of born into this? But also they do have some level of control over it now as well, so like they are making choices, and they're actively making choices that they perceive to be positive or better choices, and trying to do things that are good. It's also cool to learn that like it's not just human blood that actually it's down to, it's anything, like she can eat anything and that would suffice. But I wonder how this character would kind of react to a more kind of moral standpoint and argument. But Noxus isn't necessarily the place for that, because Noxus is in itself quite corrupt anyway, and it's sort of death is quite a big thing in Noxus, and you know, obviously with all the assassin groups and everything, you know, it's a big part of the control that they have over the people. Yeah.
Everybody wants to kill and eat, but they're all too embarrassed to do it.
Even just
not.
with that.
I once heard someone say they're having friends for dinner. And people say, I'm hungry. What were the principles of strength again? Look the enemy in the eyes, hit them before they hit you, and be the last one standing? When I cut loose, I feel, hear, and see everything. I can just be. Feels like my hunger's always talking to me. I never understand what it's saying, but I know it's never happy. Noxus doesn't care if you're different, just that you're strong. And I'm strong. Real
That's
strong.
true, yeah. It's all about the strength, isn't it, in
Books
Noxus?
are magical. All I have to do is look at a bunch of squiggly lines and I become more powerful, without any killing at all. Magic. If sweaty animals are salty, does that mean there are sweet ones too? Oh, or sour? People think way too hard about fighting. Just point the strongest soldier toward the biggest enemy. Almost worked for me. Today's mystery. Handshakes. Why? Are they testing strength, or maybe marking each other's scents?
It's awesome to see a character like this also like learning, you know, like questioning and learning, and just being like, even just like something simple that we're like, oh, well, we handshake to greet each other, or we handshake as a mark of like, you know, respect and stuff, and this character's like, but why? Like, why would you ever do that? It's weird. And we're like, yeah, but eating people is a bit weird. And it's that kind of like balance of like having something as simple as just like a handshake questioned, but same again, it's quite like, I don't know the best way to describe it. It's quite endearing in a weird way. But I think they picked the perfect voice actor, because I think if they hadn't picked the perfect voice actor, it wouldn't be coming across quite this endearing, do you know what I mean? But they absolutely nailed it. They picked the perfect person, honestly. This is amazing. This is probably one of my favourite set of voice lines I've listened to in League. I have to admit, this is great. Like, I love it. There's been some really good ones, don't get me wrong, but this is up there as one of the best ones.
Neck break! Whoa, can everybody do this? Did that happen because I had too much control? Or not enough? Wow! Dying really clears up the sinuses. And still hungry. Oh, I did it! I failed the same way everyone else does. Averagely. Finally! Yes! It's time! Mouth dry! You're afraid! Sustenance! Just a bite. Tasty flesh. still hungry. They always run.
Oh, the tone.
Bleed.
The tone's
Phew,
amazing.
Let's go again. Ooh, that was fun. Mealtime. Found you. No running. I might be a weapon, but now only I wield myself. If I can taste through my nose, why can't I eat through my nose? Everyone's got a pillory of their own. Mine's just on the outside. Is not choosing a choice? No. Yes. Yes. Aw, my hair's fading already, and I'm fresh out of blood. My teeth are bored. Food doesn't have to be blood? Huh. When people talk about their first language, why isn't body language an option? Now that I think about it, fighters are honest, but it's the liars who start wars. Moving on four limbs was so much easier.
Some of these are kind of
My
wise,
stomach's louder
weirdly.
than my mouth. It is not polite to nibble on friends. Nature's more out of control than I am. Is life the hunger of death? Of course! Mouths water because they're crying for food. I don't lose control.
This is weirdly
I free
smart.
myself from control. Ears have a nice mouthfeel. Very chewy. I was made for this. A snack. Looking tasty. Who gets first bite? This makes us friends. Loosen up. Don't think. Feel. I want to see you lose control. Fighting's allowed. Fight? Fight! You like fighting too? Stomachs are rumbling. I'll savor this. Isn't this fun? Well, hi. But I'm not full yet. That's not my stomach rumbling.
I wonder if this character did die, if they could be brought back via hemomancy. That was a really, oh man, those voice lines were great. They were really, really good, like, really good, like, peak. That was amazing. Like I said, they definitely chose the right voice actor for this. 110% nailed it. The character design is already very, very strong, and I think they created a really great character, but the VA really helps make this one. It's fantastic. I'm excited to see how this character moves in the game and what kind of like movesets they've got and stuff, but also this discrepancy between how they are when they're in control and then how they are out of control. I want to see that too. So this is in-game BRIAR. So this is the champion spotlight where it tells us all about the movesets and everything. So let's take a watch of this.
A product of hemomancy experiments in Noxus, BRIAR was born a
The character design looks awesome in game actually.
Only for her next
Oh, that's so
after
cool.
many years under lock and key, she learned to control her hunger and choose when to fully unleash. Now she's free and learning who's friend and who's food. As a jungler, BRIAR wants to eat camps until she sees a tasty pick or counter gank on the menu. When it's time to feast, she dives teeth first into the fight and loves every second of it.
The
Hope you came
movement
hungry
is
because
sick.
we're serving up the facts
Oh,
about
the
this
dual
insatiable
blades
jungler.
though, I love it.
Welcome to the BRIAR Champion Spotlight.
Sorry. Old habit.
I love that.
BRIAR's passive is Crimson Curse. She doesn't have any base health regen, and her abilities cost current health. She can still
Oh.
heal with potions and whatnot, but what she really wants is blood. Her attacks and abilities apply a stacking bleed that heals her based on the damage dealt. The lower her health, the hungrier she gets, and the greater her healing. This means BRIAR
Interesting.
wants to run into a fight, not away from it. Her increased
Right.
healing at low health makes her tough to kill, so she can bait enemies into becoming tasty treats.
Food doesn't have to be blood? Huh.
Before sampling the rest
Interesting.
of her abilities, let's take a look at the main course of BRIAR's kit, Blood Frenzy. Her W sheds the pillory that restrains her and sends her leaping into frenzy mode for several seconds. She self-taunts to the nearest meal in range, prioritizing enemy champions wherever possible. This means she
The
loses control
scream
of
is
her movement
amazing.
and attacks, but can still cast abilities, use summoner spells, and activate items.
This looks amazing. I
While
love
frenzied, she
that
gains
one.
attack and move speed, and her attacks deal damage in an area. BRIAR can also recast W to empower her next attack with Snack Attack. It deals extra damage based on the target's missing health and heals her for a good chunk too. BRIAR is at her strongest when she's in Blood Frenzy because she can clear camps faster and devour enemies. But she's also out of your control. Choose your timing and targets wisely so you don't bite off more than you can chew.
But I'm not full yet.
Oh.
With Head Rush, BRIAR leaps to a target, stuns them, and shreds their armor so they're easier to chew. She can also target an ally to leap to their location. You can cast its ability while Briar is in frenzy mode to help her nom the right target, like a delicious ADC instead of a yucky tank. But be careful. If Briar targets a minion or monster with Q during her frenzy, she will no longer prioritize enemy champions and start eating whatever's closest. Briar's E is Chilling Scream. She
So
stops
she'll
in
just
place
stop.
and charges up, gaining damage reduction and restoring health during the channel. On release, she lets
Wow.
loose a blood-curdling scream that damages and slows enemies in its path. With a full charge, the scream knocks enemies back, stunning them
I
to hit a
love
wall
that
and
move.
dealing tons of damage.
It sounds
Briar can cast its ability
amazing.
while she's in frenzy mode to snap out of it. In fact, it's the only way to end blood frenzy early, so don't waste that cooldown. Use it to heal up and disengage after you've gotten your fill of fighting, or slam your next target into a wall for seconds.
We don't have to fight. You could just share your blood.
She heals a
No
lot,
one is safe
actually.
from Briar when she's hungry, and that's all the time. For her ult, Certain Death, Briar kicks a hemolith across the map. It travels over a huge range and marks the first enemy champ it hits as her prey. Then she flies to their location like a bat out of hell. On landing, she damages everything nearby and makes other enemies flee in terror.
Whoa.
Then it's dinner time.
That's
Briar enters an empowered
amazing.
blood frenzy with extra resists, lifesteal, and movement.
That's
Unlike
amazing.
her normal frenzy, Briar's ult makes her prioritize her prey and doesn't end until she's killed them or dies trying. But that doesn't mean you have to run it down. You can still use her Q to stun, W to reposition and bite, or E to end the chase early if it means living to eat another day. Certain Death makes Briar a constant threat, especially as a follow-up to her teammates' crowd control. Use it to join a juicy fight from across the map, or to back up your friends with a counter gank. There won't be any leftovers.
Ooh, that was
Wow.
fun. Let's go again.
Just the
Briar
way
was
she
built around the
absolutely just
idea of
yeets
losing
him.
control to
It's
gain power and
terrifying.
putting that choice in your hands. So instead of sophisticated mechanics and precision skill shots, she's all about timing.
Yeah.
A Briar who burns her cooldowns on junk food is easy pickings for an invading enemy. Choosing the ideal moment to frenzy, getting on the right targets, and knowing when to snap out of it will mean the difference between dining and dying. Briar may be strongest while she's frenzying, but there is no such thing as a free lunch. She's susceptible to crowd control of all kinds, so chaotic teamfights where enemies can peel her off priority targets are tough to swallow. Instead, look for small skirmishes and picks where she can gobble up her prey before they know what bit them. Isn't picky about whom she eats, enemies with good mobility or escape tools may leave a bad taste in her mouth. They can waste her frenzy time and lead her into a bad spot. Similarly, champs that can keep her teeth busy with the wrong target really
Oh,
ruin
not
her appetite.
Sharko. Oh no.
Phones and tanks just don't taste very good.
Oh,
Wondering if
yeah, that ain't
Briar is
good.
more flavor? Her all-in kit may be appealing if you like playing divers like Vi, Diana, or Camille. She also has incredible survivability.
Oh, this
so
is
if
a
you
cool
enjoy
thing that
mega
they've added
healing
in.
champions like Warwick, Aatrox, or Vladimir, give her a try.
You're nervous. Is it the pillory? I can take it off.
All right, less talking, more eating. Dig in with Briar, the Restrained Hunger, at the links below.
Ah, look at the skin. That skin's great. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that champion looks like a lot of fun to play. Absolutely spot on though. I think that like the timing with this champion would be so key. Like if you messed up the timing on this, it would be so difficult to recoup and get away. But as well though, it seems that like if you can isolate champions and kind of target them that way, it feels like that's the best way of doing it. The fact that you don't heal very much except when you've killed a champion is definitely something, as someone who's not very apt in playing this game, because I'm not the best at playing, if I play, I just play Kale. I really like end game Kale. It's so fun to just have your dual swords and just be like smiting everything. It's just great. I enjoy that. It's good if I get to that point. It's just getting to that point's a bit tough. But yeah, this champion definitely would be a tough one, but I think a lot of fun to play though, like, oh man. But yeah, like I said, you're also going to be very, very careful about who you're targeting, and yeah, the fact that you can lose control of this champion is a little bit scary. Got the music now to listen to. Take a listen to the champion theme to finish off this video. Yes, this is the designs that they were doing. Oh, that would have been creepy. Oof. Oh wow. Oh, so dope. Oh. This music is amazing. The design in general is just really fascinating. Oh, it looks great though. Oh, they went for a few different styles. I like what they went with though. Oh, I like E. Love the hairstyle in E. That one looks great. But what they went with looks dope. It's really cool getting to see the process. Like, as someone who like wants to get into animation, this is awesome to get to see while listening to the music. God, I love the violin in this. Oh, amazing. It's like so eerie, but it has those like moments where it like really picks up, and I think it really tells to the two sides of this character that we've like gotten to know about, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I 100% want this character in Arcane. Obviously not in the current season because they wouldn't fit, but in the future, 1000%. Yes. Oh. Oh, I love it so much. This song is amazing. Are these like idols? Like emotes? That's so cool. The artwork they've done for this is amazing. Oh. Oh. Wow. What an all-rounder. That was like so fun to get to like see all that. Oh man, this is really reminding me why I loved making these videos, because even though I don't play the game that much really, like it's the game's really difficult for me to play. The MMO is something that I'm currently looking out for though. And I am going to give the fighting game a go, Project L, because I think it's just going to be like so much fun. Also, they're finally doing like bits about the Nunu and Malump game, which I really want to play. So there's other things in this universe that definitely interest me, on top of Arcane, because obviously I love Arcane. And this character in general seems like such a fun character. I think they've done a really amazing job with this character. I think in overall, the lore's interesting, the potential character growth that this character could go through, I think is really, really great. And in general, I think they've just done such a solid job with the design and the voice lines, the music as well, and that cinematic was one of the best ones I've seen from League. So overall, for me, this was an all-rounder. I think this was great. Let me know what you think of this character down in the comments below. Have you been playing BRIAR? Are you a BRIAR main? What did you think of the cinematic? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. If you want more League videos from me in the future, please do let me know and give me some suggestions as to champions that you want me to check out. I've got a list. I want to cover all the ones from Arcane, definitely. They're definitely on the list, but there's a few others that I've kind of done lore for characters around them, but I want to actually get into delving into those characters' lores as well, so that is on the agenda as well. But I'm glad that I finally got a chance to actually sit down and actually delve into one of these champions, because yeah, this has been me wanting to make a League video, has been coming for a while now. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave me a comment, like the video, and also you can check out my socials down in the description below. That would be very much appreciated. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you very soon. Bye!